What's up, you guys? It's Brandi. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Today I'm coming on with a continuation of the foundation series. We're going to be reviewing a drugstore foundation today that I'm sure many of you have already seen here on YouTube, and you probably love some of their other products as well. And I know when I first saw this product, or like a review of this product, I immediately thought of another high-end brand. So I'm really hoping that it lives up to that brand because I've already tried the foundation. But anyway, the foundation we're going to be reviewing today is the LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. So that's a really long name, and this is the packaging of it. It looks really nice. Like, I've never seen packaging that looks like this from like a drugstore foundation or anything like that, because it reminds me of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. That one is also supposed to be high definition and things like that. So I'm really interested in knowing how this will compare to that one, and if you guys want to do like a comparing video between those two, definitely let me know. I got mine in the shade Sand, but I'm not sure if this is going to be the perfect match for me at all, because I had to choose this online. I actually was only able to find it on Amazon in order for me to get it like really quickly. So what I'm going to do is pull up the website on my phone here and read to you guys the claims. So there are 15 shades in this line, and there's also a white shade, which is supposed to be a lightener that you can use with any foundation. Like if you have some type of foundation that's darker than what you need it to be, you can add a little bit of the lightener and it should give you the perfect shade. I did not purchase that one because I was like, hopefully I get the right shade. Normally my issue is I normally pick a shade that's too light, so I'm really hoping this is it. It was super hard for me to pick online, even looking at the swatches and things like that. So if you're gonna do that, I would definitely suggest that you get like 2 different shades, or maybe 3 different shades, just so you can try to see which one and then maybe send 2 of them back. The description says, Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wearing Illuminating Liquid Foundation is ideal for a flawless looking full coverage finish. Lightweight formula is comfortable for all-day wear. It's paraben-free formula with added antioxidants, helps hydrate and improve the skin's appearance, and it says it's now available to extend the color range even further. An innovative white foundation mixer to adjust and customize color. So that's pretty much all that it says. It's supposed to be lightweight, it's supposed to give you that full coverage look. It's also supposed to be illuminating, and it's supposed to give you flawless looking skin and all day wear. So we're going to put this to the test and see how it goes. And I also decided to use some other LA Girl products that I have. I picked this one up. This is a matte pressed powder. I picked this up from my beauty supply store because I've never seen these in that store before. And I'm also going to end up using my LA Girl Pro concealers along with this, just to use as many LA Girl products as possible. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. So as I do with all of my foundation reviews, I'm going to be using 2 beauty tools to apply the product. I'm going to use my beauty blender on one side and my Morphe M439 brush on the other side, so you guys can see how it applies the coverage and all of that with 2 different beauty tools. I forgot to tell you guys, it does have a pump. Y'all know I love foundations with pumps. So I'm just going to pump a little bit of this out on my ashy hands. Let's start with 2 pumps. Oh wow, this is really liquid. Okay, that's the consistency of it. And the shade of this is definitely scaring me a lot because it doesn't look warm at all. And you guys know I need warmth in my face. Even though my face is a little bit on the like yellow side or paler than the rest of my skin, I don't think this is gonna work. This looks a little bit more on the neutral side than what I'm used to. So we're just going to see. Hopefully the pressed powder will help me out if it's not the right shade. So I'm just going to dot this all over. And I have watched some videos on this foundation, so I'm going to try to go like really light-handed with this, because a lot of people have been saying that it's really, really dewy, which I actually like dewy. So this definitely is not my shade at all. But it's not too bad. It's not too light. It's just the undertone. And it is super lightweight on the skin already. Full coverage, not really sure about that just yet. So this is what one side is looking like with just one coat of the foundation. You guys can definitely see that the undertones are way off for my skin tone because it's a lot warmer on this side than where I applied the foundation. You guys can see that sharp contrast, but hopefully we'll bring it all together once I put the powder on. And I didn't even use that much of the foundation. This is how much that's left. So I'm going to apply this to the other side. It's so liquid, I kind of like don't want to try to buff it in because I feel like I'm not going to get as much coverage if I do that because of the consistency of it. This is what one coat looks like on this side, and I am still seeing a little bit of my acne scarring and stuff still peeking through, so I am going to put a little bit more just on these areas and also around my mouth with my hyperpigmentation to see if it covers it up a little bit more. So this is what this side is looking like with using the brush. I don't see a huge difference. It does look a little bit more illuminating on this side or dewy on this side. So I think I might, I don't know, just feeling it too, it doesn't feel like it's set. It feels really wet. I don't feel like it's completely full coverage because this right here, this acne scar I have, I'm still seeing it peeking through a little bit.
So alive, I've never felt this way before. It must be you and I. It's got me thinking about us more. It's these bright lights that put me in a daze, and I can't stop but think about the way that you move around up and down on that stage. It's your future vibes.
I'm going to go into this pressed powder and see what it's talking about. And I got it in the shade Warm Caramel. This is what the shade looks like. It seems like it has more of a warm undertone for sure. I'm going to go in and just get a little bit on this brush and buff it into my skin. So that's what it's looking like. My entire face with the LA Girl Pro products on it, and it does seem like it gave me a little bit more coverage with that. It still feels a little sticky to me, which I'm not loving that feel at all. So I'm going to go and finish the rest of my face and then come back on and let you guys know how my other products applied with these. So I will be right back. Okay, so in terms of how everything else applied to my face, it was actually really easy and simple. Now the foundation it's not as sticky as it was before, but it definitely doesn't feel like I have on a powder foundation or anything like that. I still feel like it probably will transfer just a little bit depending on what touches my face, so I'm not going to touch it too much today. But the shade, I feel like the color is okay as long as I use that pressed powder by LA Girl with it, which is more closer to like my actual skin tone and things like that, and the undertones of it. But I actually like it. I definitely feel like if you're an oily girl, you're going to want to set this with the powder for sure, because the luminosity that it gives you, like the illuminating look that it gives you, is super dewy and it just looks wet. So it's definitely not going to last all day long if you don't set it with the powder. And I would even be like go so far as to say, even if you're a dry girl or combination skin like myself, you're still going to want to set this with like a light translucent powder or something just to soak up a little bit of that dewiness, because it's like too dewy for me. And I didn't know I would ever like be the one to say that because I love dewy skin, but it's a little bit too dewy for me. But I do like the coverage of it. I don't agree that it's full coverage. I still feel like it's more of a medium coverage, but because it definitely didn't cover up my acne scars on this side fully. So I would definitely say it's a really good high up on the chart like medium coverage, the highest of medium coverage, just before you get to full coverage. So I do like it. I still feel like it looks really natural too. Now, one thing I did notice is up here on my forehead, as a lot of foundations do, I do have those lines where it's settling into my fine lines. So I'm hoping that as the day goes on, it would go away. I think once like my natural oils my natural oils produce in my skin and things like that as the day goes on, that it will kind of alleviate those. But for the most part, I'm just gonna have to ride with them. So it is now 12:16 in the afternoon. I'm gonna let this stay on for the rest of the day and come back on tonight and let you guys know how this foundation is holding up. So I will see you all at the end of the night. Okay, you guys, I am back. It's now the end of the night. My lashes are about to fall off, so hopefully they will hold on for this update. It is now 9:43 p.m. So I've had this foundation on for a good 9 hours, I believe. You guys know what the time was when I showed you my full face and things like that. So however long it's been since then, I've not touched up at all. So like looking at my skin, even on my monitor right here and even in the little viewfinder, I am looking a lot more dewy. And if you guys remember, I did end up setting the foundation with this LA Girl Pro Face High Definition Matte Powder. And even with me doing that, I'm still looking a bit dewy. And even up close on my skin, around my nose, it is a lot of oil right there in the crevice of my nose, and it's kind of like breaking down the foundation. I am feeling a little bit like if I touch my skin, a lot of foundation is going to come off. And if you guys remember in the beginning, I did say that it's still like the foundation still felt a little bit sticky even after I put the powder on my skin. So I don't know what's up with that. I have really liked this foundation throughout the entire day. I would say I probably started getting a little bit oily around maybe the 7 o'clock mark. So I don't think that's too bad for a foundation to last about 7 hours, because most of us tend to wear foundation for about that long, not really a prolonged period of time. But I did get a few compliments on my foundation as well. Like somebody came up to me and was like, oh my gosh, your makeup looks amazing, what do you use? And I was like, girl, I got on some real cheap products today from the beauty supply store. So I told her about the foundation and also the concealer as well, and she was like, I'm going to get some of that like today. So it does show up really well. Also, the lines on my forehead, they have kind of gone away a bit, but not completely. You can still see them just a little bit. So that's just something I have to deal with and work with. For this to be like a foundation around what, like the $10 mark, I think this is actually really good. I think when I was looking back at the footage, I told you guys that I didn't think the powder was doing really much or adding much to my skin, but it definitely did after I looked back at the footage. So I am really liking these products, especially for the price. Now quickly with the under eye concealer, as I told you guys, I have used this under eye concealer before, so it's not too bad at all. I mean, I don't feel like I'm wowed by it in any way, but I don't have excessive creasing underneath my eyes. It did a great job in keeping my under eye area brightened throughout the day. Now I did add a little bit of my banana powder from my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit to my under eye area, which I do with most concealers anyway. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this foundation, the concealer, and also the matte powder. Will you guys be purchasing these, getting your hands on them? Have you already been using them? Let me know all that stuff in the comment section below. So that is it for this review video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and show your girl some love. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button and join the family as always. And until next time, I will see all of you beauties later. Bye.